Amadawa Hopa. Thank you for joining us. I am Aaliyah Chavez. We start today with the news about the death of the first Native American person to win a Pulitzer Prize. N. Scott Momaday's groundbreaking novel called House Made of Dawn won the prize in 1969. He was a notable poet, educator, and tribal historian, and was credited as a giant of Native American literature. According to his publisher, he died at age 89 at his home in Santa Fe after he had been failing in health. A documentary by Kiowa filmmaker Jeffrey Palmer premiered 5 years ago at the Sundance Film Festival, showcasing something else Momaday was known for, his deep baritone voice.
I am a feather on the bright sky. I am the blue horse that runs in the plain. I am the fish that rolls shining in the water. I am the shadow that follows a child. I am the evening light, the luster of meadows.
In Washington state, tribal leaders are calling for state and federal emergency declarations against the fentanyl epidemic. The joint approach pushes for state recognition of the crisis and to allocate more funding to help tribes with treatment for substance use. At a recent event, Lummi Nation Chairman Anthony Hilaire acknowledged action promised in federal treaty rights related to health care. Out of all drug-related deaths in the state, opioid use contributes to over 68% of deaths, according to the Washington Department of Health. In September 2023, Hilaire declared a state of emergency in the tribe after 5 citizens died within the same week. According to State Representative Deborah Lekanoff, a state of emergency would allow different levels of government to coordinate on the issue. Last week, a United Nations panel met in Colorado to discuss indigenous communities and their role in creating what's called a greening economy. Greening refers to economic development and growth that is both environmentally sustainable and socially inclusive. The UN met at the University of Colorado Boulder to discuss adopting new practices and policies. These new strategies are set to promote environmental conservation, resource efficiency, and address social inequalities among Indigenous communities. The 2-day forum included discussions with Indigenous people from across the globe, UN ambassadors, politicians, and academic experts. In Arizona, a federal judge claims he was not convinced to reverse a decision to pause a suit over the Gila River water usage. The U.S. government, San Carlos Apache tribe, and the Gila River Indian community had previously asked the judge to shut down and seal 48 water wells, claiming the Arizona-based SNR Daily LP are not authorized to pump and divert Gila River subflows. Subflows are water that flows underground through gravel and sand, but is so close to a surface stream it is part of that stream. The San Carlos Apache tribe and the Gila River Indian community argued the increasing diversions of water by upstream landowners has sharply decreased the amount of water available to tribes downstream. We turn now to the Pacific Northwest, where Yurok tribal citizens are engaged in a major habitat restoration project. Stuart Huntington has more on efforts to restore vegetation in the Klamath River Valley as the world's largest dam removal project picks up steam.
4 dams along the Klamath River that starts in Oregon and flows through California to the Pacific are coming down. And as the water is drained from the reservoirs behind them, huge tracts of land are exposed for the first time in decades. Yurok tribal members are on the front lines restoring the river habitat, seed by seed.
There's a lot. I think there's 2,200 acres or something of land that needs to be reseeded, and so we have our work cut out for us.
The plan is that someday in the not-too-distant future, the Klamath River will flow freely again. It's a vision that grew out of some long-standing tribal efforts.
The tribes of the basin and our partners have been working on this for a really long time, like actually trying to get these dams removed for over 20 years. And, at the early on, we were just kind of laughed out of the room. But, people persevered and we lost a lot of battles along the way, but we won some, and here we are. It's massive for the indigenous people especially, but all the people of the Klamath Basin who care about the ecosystem, because the river is such an important aspect of tribal people's lives. We believe we evolved here on the banks of this river, and and kind of hand in hand. And, Yurok tribal people and other tribes along in the Klamath Basin feel like our health is directly tied to the health of the river. And if you have a river that's impaired and a river that's unhealthy, then the people are going to be unhealthy also. And this has been the status quo for a long time. The river has been unhealthy, and the fish runs have been depleted, and there hasn't been a whole lot of positivity around the river and its health until recently, when we started moving in the direction of dam removal and found and worked so hard to, many people worked so hard to get us here. And now we have this huge movement forward in the right direction. It feels like. Don't get me wrong, we still have a lot of work to do to heal this basin. Dam removal is the single largest step we can take in the right direction, but it's only one step of many. We're going to be working to restore this basin for generations, because it's taken generations to get us to this point of degradation that we've been experiencing the last couple of decades. So it's a huge victory for river advocates, but the fight isn't over to restore this basin, and we're going to be here working for a really long time.
Stuart Huntington, ICT News.